So in this video, I'm going to break down my 4-hour-a-week content strategy. I've developed this strategy over the last 8 months, and it just allows me so much more time and freedom to do other things in my life, instead of getting burnt out by over-planning and over-producing content with no results. Now, the first step here is to put this video on full screen. And the reason for that is to train your attention span. Because I know for a fact having a cooked attention span was one of the biggest problems I had. Part number 1, why your content feels overwhelming. You see, most people, most creators, they try to create their content from scratch every single time. And this creates decision fatigue. You see, instead of using an actual structure and system to develop and work on each piece of content, they try to reinvent the wheel. They try to start from zero every time, and this just creates burnout. So you're going to need systems and structures to effectively create content consistently. You see, decision fatigue is when you start to think every single time you have to make a piece of content, you have to think about what to post, when, how to post it, why, what is the reason, what is the video, what is the topic, is this going to get views? And you have 1,000 questions in your mind. And these questions just make it so hard to predictably and consistently produce high quality content. You have no clear content system. And that's why everything feels urgent and sometimes inconsistent and sometimes really random. We all have 24 hours in the day, but with no structure and system, so much time just gets wasted into, planning, into procrastinating, into doing anything else except actually making the content. And every deadline that you have is just pushed to the last moment. Now you need systems, and in the next parts, I'm going to explain and break down exactly the type of systems that you need, what these systems are, and how to use these systems in your own life. Now, if you're watching this video, your next weeks of making content is going to be so incredibly simple, and that's how it should be all the time. Now, here's the base system, and then I'm going to go into the more advanced systems. Part number 2, base content systems. So the number 1 thing here is ideating during the week. Now, this is one of the most important things. Ideally, you want to get ideas when you're in your most open and creative state, which means, maybe you're in the shower and you get those crazy ideas, or you're just on a walk with friends or by yourself and you get the best ideas for what content to make next, how to organize yourself, how to speak, what you should change. And the best ideas usually come when you're expecting the least. And you see, those ideas, you need to write them down when you can. You need to save them. Because chances are you have so many $1,000,000 ideas in your mind right now. You just need the right circumstance, the right opportunity for these to come out. Now let's talk about the actual first system, which is your format. Every content has a format. And the number 1 mistake that most YouTube creators make is they change their format way too much. Now what happens is when somebody watches one video, when one video is getting views, that viewer should be thinking to themselves, I want more of this thing. So they click on your channel and then they expect more of the same thing. If you have a very edited video and that's getting views, then the last thing that viewer wants is to come to your channel and see exactly the opposite, or see nothing that has to do with what they watched. You need to have a repeatable format for your posts so you're not reinventing the structure every time. This is good for a multitude of reasons. Number 1, it makes it easier for you to make the content because you get better at that format, and actually the better you get, the better the videos can be, whether that's going to be the editing, whether that's going to be, your speaking style. If you dial down one single format, you will reach higher levels of quality. People remember consistency, and if you're consistent with your formats, then you will have this viewership that always remembers you. And now the second thing, the second base content system here, is one main weekly content planning block, where you just sit down with your laptop, with your computer, and maybe you have Google Docs, maybe you use Notion, maybe you use Obsidian, and you just plan and structure all the videos you're going to post. Plan the videos for the week, make the structure clear, and script exactly what you have to do. And using a template script is going to save you hours of just scripting into the void. You need templates for pretty much everything, so that when you sit down to do the work, you don't waste time in ineffective planning and strategizing. You sit down, you know what you have to do because you have templates that help jog your memory, that make it easier to go with the flow. So one content planning block every single week, and you need to set yourself inputs, number inputs. So for me, that's 2 long videos a week. That is 5 Instagram reels every single week. That is 2 Substacks, so 2 newsletter posts. Anything that I post, any content that I post, I have weekly objectives. I have weekly input and volume numbers to hold myself accountable. It doesn't matter what happens in my life, I'm always going to hit these numbers. And by setting yourself targets and daily input numbers, you're setting yourself up for content success. And the last thing, before we dive into the leverage and advanced content systems, is turning one idea into multiple outputs. The top 1% ideas, they do not come often. So when you find these ideas, you need to use them as much as possible. Not just use them once and throw them away, but use them for everything. You see, one idea could turn into a YouTube video, turn into an Instagram reel, turn into a newsletter. And I'm not talking about, taking a long form YouTube video, clipping it up, and then posting across short form. That is advice that only works if you have a full 10 people team. If you're by yourself or you just have, 1 to 2 people working on your personal brand, then this is just not realistic. It's going to take more time. It's going to take more mental energy, and you're just going to be posting and seeing no results across 5 different platforms. So stick to 1 to 2 platforms. You don't have to repurpose your content, but repurpose your ideas. What this means is 1 idea you could make a YouTube video on and 5 Instagram reels. Now, if you're enjoying this kind of video style, then subscribe to the channel if you know you want to grow your personal brand and get to that top 1%. Part number 3, leverage content systems. Building evergreen content that works even after you post. The nice thing about YouTube is it compounds. Anything you do compounds. The video you posted 6 months ago can still be getting you views, subscribers, and sales. Now, another thing that you can do is actually simple. It is actually leveraging B-roll systems. So you see, most videos are going to have to be edited to perform well. They don't have to be super flashy, super edited, but you need some level of B-rolls when you're speaking. If I'm talking about, YouTube, then I show some YouTube footage. If I talk about, if I'm talking about working, then I show some working footage. If I talk about journaling, I show some journaling footage. And it just adds so much to a video. And the nice thing about B-roll is you can use it for your thumbnails, you can use it in the video, you can use it for pretty much everything. An example of a system that I use myself, I decided to take 3 to 4 hours where I took all of the best B-roll clips and I color graded them, and then I exported them as a video. So now I have these B-roll montages that I can just drag and drop into a video. I can just select the part that I want, cut it, and then move it over the video. I have B-rolls that I can use for every video, for the thumbnails, for pretty much everything, and I don't have to color grade. I don't have to, prepare them every single time. That's an idea of an evergreen content system. Something that you do once that lasts forever. Now, the next thing here is using systems that reduce input time. For example, something like a speech-to-text app, so that when you script, when you plan things, you actually don't have to type at all. You can just speak into a microphone like this, and then it produces the text. This allows you to write and plan so much faster. Organizing your B-roll footage so you don't have to spend hours looking for it. For example, you can organize your B-roll in categories like lifestyle, like reading, like journaling, like running, like deep work, and just organizing everything saves time, and time is money. If you save time, you're saving yourself money as well. The main thing is to just sit down with yourself and look at the processes, everything from scripting to planning to filming to editing to making the thumbnail to posting to doing the descriptions and everything. Every single part of the video process from start to finish, you need to look at everything that you're doing honestly and look where you're wasting time. I was wasting time with editing because I was too lazy to learn a new keybind or a shortcut, and instead I was doing things the old and slow way for so long and I wasted time. But then one day I realized, how about I just take an extra 30 minutes to learn this new keybind, and as a result, I'm so much quicker at just cutting and editing right now. And also with filming, it doesn't even matter if you don't edit your videos. You're always going to be filming your own videos because you are the personal brand. With filming, I have the same setup each time. I have the plant in the same place, the bookshelf over there in the same place, the light there, I just move it. I open this light. I have the light in front of me. I have the white Google Docs in front of me, and my mic settings are always the same. Nothing changes, so that I just easily set up everything and I film as well. Now, some people give the advice of, film a month worth of content in a single day. Now, sure, batch filming is great in some aspects, but the reason why I don't batch film, I film 1 video at a time, is because number 1, mental fatigue. By the time you're on your 2nd or even 3rd video, you don't even know what you're saying. You start yapping, you start to lose focus. So that is why I actually don't batch film. You can batch film if you like. It does help save time. But if you want to actually keep quality in what you're saying and how you speak, then I wouldn't recommend batch filming. But just setting up everything so you don't have to waste your time. Those are systems. Systems for your editing, your timelines, your projects in your editing software. Systems for how you film, where your camera is, where the light is. Systems for how the audio sounds. Systems for scripting. Systems for planning the video. Systems for also finding outliers or finding actual ideas for your videos. Now I've given you examples of many systems that I use for my content. Now it's up to you to use those systems. I hope you took notes in this video. And if you haven't, watch back over the video, go through the things that I've said so that you can actually make a difference in your content. So you can create systems that actually help you work less on content but achieve more. Now, who doesn't want that? Work less but achieve more. Because just watching videos for the sake of watching videos without taking action and writing notes is pretty much just fake productivity. It's just procrastination in disguise. So subscribe if you like this video. See you in the next one.